Welcome to ET Garage. I'm Eugene Tordo. Today's video is going to be about brake booster in a C4 Corvette. Now, before we get into how to swap this out, I'm going to go over the brake booster. Original brake boosters that came in the C4 Corvette were plastic. I don't think any of them were ever metal. And then like 90 through 95, the ZR1 had a different brake booster. It was smaller in diameter in order to allow more clearance for the wider heads on the LT5 engine that came in that car. If you try to get the plastic ones, I think the only way you can get them that I can see are remanufactured ones or rebuilt, and they're hard to come by. They're out there, but you're going to have to look. A lot of places say discontinued, no longer available, or call and see if they can get them for you. So the other option is the metal ones. There's nothing wrong with the metal ones. I've had a metal one in this car before. I'll go over that in a little bit. But I'm not sure if this is how much heavier this is than a plastic one. We'll have to see. But back in the old days, you could buy rebuild kits for brake boosters and rebuild them yourself. Just the same with master cylinders. You could get rebuild kits for them. For these C4 Corvettes, you can't do that. There might be ones for other models out there for older cars, but I haven't seen them for C4s. I was searching online for one, and I did see one place sold just the diaphragm for the plastic one. So I might go ahead and do that. These things are pretty pricey. Like if you get them from like Advance Auto. AutoZone didn't carry them at all. Advance Auto just carried, I believe it was the metal ones. And they did show a plastic one, but I believe it was either unavailable or not available at this time or something like that. But those were pretty expensive. Those were over $200. Seen other places that have them for less than $200. And I see prices all over the place. This one is an eBay special. Yeah, I paid like $40 for it. And from what I can tell, the metal ones, whether you get them from Advance Auto for over $200 or not, they're all the same. They're all the same. They're all probably made the same place, which is probably somewhere in China. In fact, I don't see a sticker on here saying it's made in China. Well, I see the shipping label on the box, but pretty damn sure that's where it comes from, just like everything else. So keep that in mind. Hopefully this eBay one works out. Let me move the camera around and we'll show you a few things that you got to do. All right, it's been a while since I've done this, but on the 90 through 96, you'll have an ECM here. And the ECM and the bracket needs to be removed. If it's the earlier 89 through 84, you don't have to worry about that. The ECM is under the dash. There's also a bracket here. It goes at a 45-degree angle. I don't know if you can see it in this shot, but it goes at a 45-degree angle. And the cruise control bolts to it. I believe that has to be taken out in order for this to clear when you take it out. You do have to unbolt the master cylinder. Do not unbolt the lines unless you're going to be changing out your master cylinder. You can just, those lines are flexible. You just move it out of your way. Of course, you got to remove the hose. Don't lose your brake booster valve, check valve. That will need to be transferred to the new one. The new one doesn't come with one. Some may and some may not. This section here is the easy part. Now, here's the fun part where you wish you had a trained squirrel because you're going to have to get underneath the dash to get to the two bolts that hold the the brake booster to the firewall and to get the rod off that connects to the brake pedal. You'll have to remove this panel, this carpeted panel, and underneath there is a metal panel that I believe you have to remove also. And if you go by the factory service manual, it says to remove the gauge cluster. To remove the gauge cluster, you need to drop the steering wheel, and then you can reach those two nuts under there. if I remember correctly, I was able to do it by removing this panel, this panel, this panel, and I believe the metal panel, and then I was able to reach up there, feel by hand with extension, and get everything off that way. If I can do that, well, I'll go over that in this video. If not, then I'll have to drop the steering wheel. And I don't see the reason for removing the gauge cluster. I don't ever remember removing it, even though it says that to do that in the factory manual, because behind that gauge cluster is just solid plastic. So it doesn't really help you get to it, that I can remember. But yeah, this is the difficult part. Get on to doing, I guess I'll start up front there, get that off first, and then get on to this. All right, this is where I'm at. I did have to take the one panel off at the carpet panel and this panel. One of these are called a kick panel, one of them is called a hush panel. I can't remember which. But let me get this in the way and demonstrate it to you. This will be up against the transmission tunnel, this end. You want to get those two bolts first, and when you do, you take these two out. There are 10 millimeters here and 10 millimeters on that end. Take these out first, and when you take them out, the carpet's going to be over them, so you got to push the carpet out of the way, and when you take them out, you got to be careful not to drop them behind the carpet. When you do, they'll go down behind the carpet, and you got to fish them out. These two are real easy, just two 10 millimeters. All right, and I did have to drop the steering wheel, and I got the one nut off already, and the other nut, I don't know if I can show that to you or not, but it's, hopefully you can see that it is way up there. There, maybe you can see it now. I'm going to need two hands to fish this on, but basically I'm going to fish that on, unbolt that, and then, oh, one thing about removing this steering wheel, it's two big 15-meter bolts with this metal plate, and getting it off dropping it down is no problem. Getting it back up, it helps to have an extra pair of hands holding the steering wheel up while you get these started, because they are a pain to get started if you're doing it yourself. So, let me get that one nut off. And then, I can't remember, I'm pretty sure I had to remove this metal bracket here. But it looks like it'll clear it, so we'll see. If I have to remove it, it's basically, let me see, yeah, two bolts here, one underneath, and way down there, there's two bolts. In my case, I have this air oil separator I have to remove, but you probably will not have that, so you don't have to worry about it. Let me get that bolt off, and then we'll get that off, hopefully. All right, we're ready to take this one out. All right, that's out. I ended up knocking the cap off the master cylinder and spilling brake fluid, so I'm gonna have to get some water and rinse that down. That's no biggie deal. Just don't get anything inside your master cylinder, and remember to refill it. Don't be klutzy like me. And you take this off. This is the aluminum bracket. That'll come off. That's only if you have a 90 through 96. This bracket might vary in design because later years they had that cast aluminum ECM, so the bracket might be different. I don't know. It doesn't really matter. Just take it off, and you're going to be putting it on the old one. Also, remember to slide this off the shaft on the brake pedal before you try and pull it out. I've done that, trying to pull this out, and it won't go nowhere. It's because I forgot to do that. Now, if you look, you can see what's wrong with this. And this is on me. There's that hole right there. And the only thing I could think of, I was going to say I hit it. It's possible I hit it when I was taking with the wrench or something, got the wrench jammed between there. When I was putting the headers back on, or taking off in the past. It also looks like it's a little melted there too. It's probably the heat from the headers. If you have stock exhaust manifolds, it's not as problem. So it's just something to keep in mind. It's probably a good idea if you have headers. I should probably make up some type of heat shield, even with the metal one. One thing to note is the adjustment on the master cylinder side. Plastic one has it, and the new metal one has it, or at least it looks like it has it. Yeah, this is heavier than the plastic one. Yeah. Actually, they feel right about the same size. This seems... Yeah. This seems a lot narrower. I don't know if you can tell from here than this one. Not by much. So hopefully the travel's the same. It doesn't affect the brake pedal travel. If I find out, I will post it up here, hopefully, because I hope to take this for a test drive. One thing you want to check before you put it in is this hole here. I have had these where these will not slide over the shaft because they're slightly undersized. You know, I'd have to go through and open it up. Keep that in mind. So, now putting this back together is the same as taking the old one apart. It's just a reverse of taking the old apart. Slide this back in. I was able to get it out without removing this bracket, which is good. And try and mark the ends of these with something like paint, a bright paint, like orange or yellow. And then it'll make it easier for you to see them when you go to put the nuts on. Also, when you go to put the nuts on, try and use a magnet in the socket to hold that nut in place while you try and get it on. Or one of these magnets with a claw on the end. Get the nut started, and then you can get it screwed on that way. So I have done, can't remember if I've done that with the brake boosters on these in the past, but I have used this for lots of other things to get a nut started. So something to keep in mind. If you don't have one, these are handy to have around the shop. Especially reach down, like you're getting old like me, and you got to reach down, pick a nut that you dropped. You can just poke that down there and pick it up, not bending over. So let me think. Yeah, like I was saying, don't forget to take the clip off, and this is what the clip looks like. And we'll have this over the shaft, and then the clip goes on. Actually, you may have to use a screwdriver to pop this off. I actually was able to pop it off with my fingers. It's difficult to show under there what's going on. Putting everything together is this exact opposite. Getting those two nuts started underneath the dash is probably the hardest part. And then getting those panels back on is pain in the butt. That's really what I hate about this, is more than anything, is getting those panels back on. They're a pain in the butt. They are. Like I said, it helps if you have two people. When you go to put the steering wheel, someone to hold it up. If not, try and find something to pry it up. Maybe a jack stand or something. Maybe I'll try a jack stand in there or something to hold the steering wheel up while I get those two nuts started. So let me get this cleaned up, and then I'll start putting this back together. All right, the new one is in. After I got it in and slid this on to the shaft on the brake pedal, it wouldn't go. It went just a little bit and then it hung up. So I ended up taking it out and drilling it bigger. Now, when you drill it bigger, just find a drill bit that fits in there perfectly and just go the next size bigger. Or you can just take a little deburring tool, a little die grinder, and just you just want to go a little bit. You don't want to go too much. Uh, this adjustment knob here, I still have to play with that. If it's out too far, your brakes will drag. If it's in too far, you'll just have a little bit of play on your pedal that you don't want. One thing you can do is you just put a little clay on here or on the inside of the master cylinder and bolt it, and then see how much clearance there is, if any. If there's no clearance, screw it in. If it is, screw it out. Try and take all the clearance out. Just maybe leave like a couple of like 3,000ths or something. I'm not sure what the specifications are. If somehow you manage to find a rebuild kit for one of these, there are detailed instructions how to rebuild it. And I think you need special tools to press the spring that's in here if you ever do take one of these apart. This looks like, I don't know how this would come apart, because it looks almost like it's glued or fused or something. So then it has, so I wouldn't know how to do that. I might try and take this apart just for laughs if I get really bored. But as far as I'm concerned, this is done. I still need to take it out and test it. If there's any problems, I'll let you guys know. I'll leave it remarks up here somewhere. And if I still need to adjust it, it feels fine the way it is. I don't feel any play, but I don't know if it's too much to have drag on. I don't know till I start it up and move it a little bit. So let me get out there, take this for a test drive. In the meantime, everybody, I hope this was helpful and informative, and I hope everybody has a great day, and God bless.